What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 201. We are over the threshold of 200, and
The
now
threshold.
the threshold of over. You think after 200 episodes I'd learn how to speak, but hey,
No.
you know, I took one speech class in college.
Was it public speaking or
It was a public speaking class.
conversational?
Yeah.
Did you have to give like a public speaking monologue or something at the end
Yeah,
of it?
we had to like take a which is like the biggest thing that I got graded on because I say like all the time.
Who
But
doesn't know?
we had to bring like 5 items from our house that we cherish, and I think I brought the N64, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, I think I got a C on my final just because and like and so whatever. So anyways, after 200 episodes, I'm still not good, but we are we're here.
We're out here.
We're here.
We're out here.
I think we do. I think we put on a pretty quality show. You know.
Yeah, it's at least B tier
Yeah,
quality.
B tier. I like it, Nick. I like
Yeah.
it. We're not quite up in the upper echelon. Jesus,
There it is. That's
There
what
it is.
that's what's bringing us down.
but yeah, we put on. I think we put on a pretty good show. But my name is Harrison. I am joined by my brother Nick, as always. We just recorded our 200th episode last week. If you guys have not checked it out, please do. We ranked all. We started the podcast in 2019, and we've done Game of the Year ever since. And we
5
ranked
games of the year.
both of our top 10 lists over the course of those years, condensed it down to a combined top 10 list. So it was a really fun segment we did last week. I had a blast doing it.
We have to do that with other stuff. That was so fun.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out some other I don't know, we might have to incorporate like a top 5 of something every few episodes, or you know, maybe make it relevant to like a game that's coming out, like, you know, the next Resident Evil comes out and we're like, all right, top 5 Resident Evils, or you know, something like that.
Yeah.
I think that could be pretty fun. But we got a lot of news to talk about this week. There was not much last week, but a bunch of news, new Switch stuff, state of pretty much the big 3. We've had a lot of like, everybody's on all cylinders right now, so
Yeah.
that's awesome. But before we dive into that and what we've been playing, Nick, how was your week?
Last week was pretty hectic at work, especially Thursday and Friday. Something ran amiss at work, and
Well, we're right in the middle of tax season too, so you guys will probably be pretty busy.
we don't do taxes.
You know, okay, but y'all okay. I know you don't do it directly with taxes, but you guys don't do.
Yeah, right now we're doing financials for companies that are getting audited.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so our clients are getting audited. But yeah, last week was pretty hectic. But we're on the up and up.
That's good.
Things are looking good. January wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Normally, January is pretty crazy, but it's a lot better at this job than when I worked at my old.
That last one
my
seemed
old
like it
job.
was such a nightmare. Like, you'd be getting off. We would
Fuck, it
record the
sucked.
podcast, and you're like, all right, I got to go back to work.
That was a pretty dark period.
Yeah.
There's 2 years, and it didn't help that it happened during COVID. So for reference, I was a financial auditor. So for those of you who either do that or knows someone who does that, you work a lot.
Yeah.
For like 4 months out of the year, you're probably working like 55 plus hours or 60 hours a week. Yeah, so we would record on Sunday or
Well, I think we had to
probably
change
what we
it.
did on
We used
Monday.
to record on Sundays, and then we switched it
Well-
to Mondays. We've been kind of back and forth over the years. Just kinda,
Yeah, and then on Mondays, I would have to get back to work after recording the podcast. So we
Yeah.
ended up switching back to Sundays.
for a while. Yeah.
But I've not had anything similar to that since I
That's
I've
good.
started at this place.
Yeah.
For the past 2 years. But yeah, it's been a good week. It's a chill weekend. Didn't really do too much. Just kind of lounged around and
Yeah, I watched some.
at the house.
Yeah, I just kind of watched
Watching
football.
football.
Yeah,
Did you watch both games?
of course. I was.
I didn't catch the last one.
Yeah, I
think it was
watched
49ers.
the Ravens and the Chiefs game, and you know, I don't really care for either team, to be honest. But you know, my wife is into football now, which is super cool. She was a Steelers fan, really a fan of like Big Ben. He retired, so she kind of stopped watching. And then the whole Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift thing. I'm sure everyone is so happy that we're talking about it on a gaming podcast, but um, that whole thing happened. You know what? It's been just kind of fun, to be honest. Like, just
I don't
it's
understand
been
why people are so upset about it.
yeah,
Like, it's not her fault that they're showing her on camera. It's just she's one of the
yeah,
biggest
and I
celebrities in the world.
think I think ever since I think it was like the Bears game maybe of September or whatever last year when the season started. I think I read something today that her being at the games, like the dramatic sales and like Travis Kelsey t-shirts and jerseys and stuff. I think she's like contributed because of her like an extra $300 million in revenue for the Chiefs. So that's insane.
It's pretty damn good. So of course they were going to go to the Super Bowl, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the
Bring
whole
in all those viewers.
all the script writers. So yeah, I watched that game and yeah, so it's cool. Plus I started listening to like the Kelsey Brothers podcast, New Heights, and it's pretty interesting and like hearing their perspective on football. That's cool. Yeah, then I was kind I was kind of rooting for the Lions because I think everybody loves a good underdog story, and I think everybody just wanted Eminem versus Taylor in the Super Bowl. Like that would have been hilarious.
He would have had a diss track ready
Of
for the
course.
Super Bowl.
Well, people already commented. They're like, yeah, he's got a diss track going for all 49ers fans right now coming.
Right.
But also, I do like the Niners. They got a pretty good group of dudes. And Christian McCaffrey was on the Panthers, so like I want to see him get a ring because we kind of wasted his talent for 3 or 4 years. So I'm glad he's on.
He was my boy in fantasy this year.
Yeah, he's a monster.
He's great.
So yeah, I'm happy. I think it's gonna be a good time, a good Super Bowl.
I think the viewership is going to be higher than it was last year.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Not that last year had low viewership, but
I mean, the NFL is like the biggest sport outside of like European,
soccer.
Football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I mean their viewership is always great. But yeah, it's gonna be insane. But I might make a little drinking game out of it every time they show Taylor on the screen.
Take a little drink.
Take a drink.
And then just take Monday off.
Yeah, you'll have to because you'll be absolutely faded. But yeah, my week was good. Just really chilled out. Didn't really do much. Played a lot of Palworld and some Prince of Persia, but
you mean the Pokemon ripoff?
No, I think it's
Pokemon is the ripoff.
Pokemon's a ripoff. But well, we'll jump into it. Palworld, yeah. It's been a fun week with this game. Just posting all the TikTok videos, all the memes online. Like, I don't know. I think I put a tweet out. I was like, all right, in 10 years, I'm telling my kids that Pokemon's a knockoff of Palworld.
If Pokemon doesn't do something to turn it around, I'm officially becoming a Pokemon hater.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Yeah, that's what you text me. You're like, I might be a Pokemon hater, and you know what? Pokemon has been mediocre for 15 years, and you know what? I'm gonna say it.
I'll give Arceus its flowers or whatever. That was a great game. Performance wise, not good, but just because it was different enough, and it was kind of like it was realizing that dream.
To preference, we're playing on Xbox, so this version's already. Are you talking about Arceus?
Yeah.
Arceus kind of ran like doo-doo.
Arceus, of course, ran like doo-doo, but it realized a dream from our childhood.
Yeah,
to an extent.
Yeah,
and then Palworld kind of like does it like a little differently. It's like the American Pokemon dream. Pokemon with guns.
I mean, you can butcher your Pokemon, and yeah, it's man, I think I had remembered this, like seeing the trailer for this game, but I totally forgot about it. And then I know we've already talked about it last week, but I'm loving it, dude. I can't put it down. Like I'm thinking about it all the time. Like I want to get back in there. I think I'm like level 25 or 26 now.
Okay, I'm like 24. I think I just got the musket.
Okay, yeah. And then you get the musket, and that thing rips, dude. It shatters. Yeah. It destroys the pals, and like just being 40 feet away and just sniping them with the musket is absolutely hilarious.
So can you make ammo for it yet? Because I just have a bunch of residual ammo from
you can. I think you need Well, I don't think I have. I think you have to have sulfur, and
Yeah, that's what it
because
is.
you have to, yeah. And I don't know quite where to get sulfur, but anytime the humans raid my camp, I'm like, yes, bring it on, so I can get your
Yeah, bring that
ammo.
ammo.
But yeah, I've got that, and I think I've unlocked like the handgun as well. It's not the regular handgun, but it's like I think it's called like the makeshift handgun.
Mhm.
So I don't think I've built that one yet. But I'm right at the point where my base is starting to get very, very cluttered because I just kind of built things just everywhere. So I'm kind of to the point where I want to find a really good location, build up my walls so I can get my Amazon factory going. Because I just unlocked the
Yeah,
pow ball
like a
conveyor.
production
Yeah,
line.
production line. So I'm ready to get a bunch of cativas on there and let them do their thing.
Oh my God.
So I'm ready.
You're a modern Bezos.
Exactly. So I'm ready to start digging into that stuff. But yeah, I don't know what it is about it. It's just scratching an itch that I didn't know I needed from Pokemon until
Mhm.
I started playing this game, and now I'm looking at Pokemon like, yeah, like y'all. This I don't think this is a Pokemon killer per se, but I really really hope that Pokemon Company just kind of does a double take and they pause and they say, okay, there's a reason why this game is doing so well. It's not just because it's Pokemon with guns.
Mhm.
It's way more than that. You don't even get a gun until I don't know,
Oh,
15
yeah,
hours
15
in.
hours.
So it's way more than that. It's just a fun experience. I'm loving it.
Yeah, and like I don't want Pokemon to do this exact same thing. I don't
Yeah,
want it to be like a survival game like this or, have guns or anything, but I think they really do need to do something to shake up the formula even beyond what Arceus did.
yeah,
And
I
I think
agree.
Arceus was a great first step and this was one of my favorite games of 2022 and I really loved it and like I
Yeah,
caught all the Pokemon and had a great time with it. But, it had its problems.
for
And I
sure.
think there's a lot of room for improvement. And if they continue down that path, then, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that, all the people that are saying, oh, well, wait for the Switch 2, Pokemon's going to run and look great. It's
No,
like, I don't think
they've
Game
had
Freak
they've
has
had
the
7
talent.
years to get to know the Switch hardware, and they
Yeah.
still haven't done anything with it. It's like the worst. It's well, not the worst, but it's a horrible looking game on the Switch. And we've
Like,
got Breath of the Wild again, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. This games look better and run better than Scarlet and Violet. And then the audacity for them to come out and a year later give us 2 DLCs, which I've heard are pretty good, but the game still runs
like
like
trash.
trash. Like you can't like you again multi and I all these people. Oh, I feel sorry for Pokemon Company and I don't feel sorry for them. Like let them figure it out. If they again with the whole they're looking into the about a potential lawsuit if there is one, which I don't think they'll. I don't think they're gonna find anything.
No.
If they were gonna do anything, they would have already done it by now. But yeah, don't worry about what. Oh yeah, the Power World looks similar to a Pokemon. Don't worry about that. Just allow them to figure that stuff out. Just let
It,
don't feel sorry for them. They are $1 billion company, and they've. I'm not gonna say they deserve it necessarily, but
they had it coming.
they had it coming. Like no one's really put out. There's been a ton of Pokemon clones, um, out there, and Pokemon's not necessarily an original idea. I think like Dragon Quest, I think was first. Like there was there's been like Pokemon esque things
Mhm.
before and and after Pokemon came out. But yeah, I think it's time for a little competition to drop in. And again, I don't think this game is going to be the Pokemon killer. Like the next Pokemon game is going to sell very well. But next month when they have their usual Pokemon Day direct, there's going to be a lot of eyes on it. And if that game looks like shit, it's going to get scrutinized, and it should because Pokemon's been mediocre for quite a while.
Yeah. And Palworld, like, no matter which way you look at it, it's good for both sides because,
Yeah,
for the players, you get to play a game that's kind of like Pokemon, but, you know, kind of better in a way. and it also creates competition, and it might inspire or force Game Freak to take their time, or I would say force the Pokemon Company to take their
Yeah.
time and build out a better game. You know, take some more time for development. We don't need a new Pokemon this year. Like
Yeah,
we don't need
I
Arceus
just
2.
and I never get it because like their whole thing is they've got to keep up with the anime and the cards. It's like the game comes out first and then everything comes out after. Like why not just wait an extra year and let Game Freak, cook it up a little bit longer and give us a really quality product. Like you guys make so much money that y'all can afford to take, give them an
There
extra
you
year.
go.
You just can. It's okay.
Yeah, and I do think I do think Nintendo is aware of. I mean, obviously they're aware of the performance issues with Scarlet and Violet,
Yeah.
but they even had a statement about it. Like didn't they apologize for the performance and said they would work on it? I mean, that was
Yeah, they,
back
they
last
spoke
year,
on
but
the Pokemon Company's behalf. Like I don't think the Pokemon Company ever put out a statement from what I remember. And then they never updated the game. Or they never like
they never did
really
anything.
fixed it.
How does this game arguably look worse than Sword and Shield?
I don't know. Because
I
I
just,
guess I guess it's more like
it's open
ambitious,
world, yeah, more ambitious.
but still, I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of want to boot it back up and just and play it because I've never actually got super deep into Violet. But then I
Mhm.
also kind of want to boot up Arceus and see like maybe that doesn't hold up quite as well now. Not saying that Power World's like completely just changed my mind, but yeah, it probably doesn't hold up as well as I remember.
I I I don't think it would specifically because of the performance pop in
Yeah,
and texture quality.
yeah.
Because Power World doesn't run great.
No,
It's a,
no.
it's an inconsistent 30 frames
Yeah,
on the Xbox.
it's crashed on me quite a few times. But again, we're both playing on
Yeah.
Xbox. It's we know it's a few updates behind the Steam version, and uh, I think the Power World I can't remember the name of them, but the Power World company came out and said, yeah, it's like Microsoft certification is a little bit.
So it's lagged. And we saw that with Liza P too. Like
Yeah, and it's always
all their
been that way.
pictures
They
were
always
slow.
like go through extra hoops and steps to get stuff out, like updates out on Xbox, and it's pretty annoying. Like especially with like Liza P, because I'm like, all right, I want this update so I can freaking beat this boss. But um, yeah, like Power, it's just fun, man. It's again, it's
It's
janky,
just fun.
it's ugly at times, and it crashes all the time, but there's just something about it. I just it and I think it's kind of tapping into like Zelda for me a little bit in terms of like just the exploration. Like I just love exploring that world,
Hmm.
especially when you get and there's not a ton to do, but it's just fun, getting on your Nightwing and flying around and stuff like that. Like it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun just like getting yourself into trouble, getting into an area with level 29
Yeah.
enemies and like, oh shoot, like they're shooting at me from the ground.
Yep.
They're taking out my Nightwing. I gotta get out of here.
Get out of here. And then like
Gotta get
sometimes like the pals are pretty passive aggressive, but then some are like, they'll attack you like on site.
yeah, shoot to kill.
So yeah, it's
It's
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
And I saw like the developer. I don't know if it's just one person or if it's a small team, but one of them said like, we're not trying to do anything like super innovative. Like we're trying to make something that people want to play. Like
Yeah.
we're trying to like not chase trends, but make something that's enjoyable to people. And
Yeah.
that kind of resonated with me because a lot of games and Callisto comes to mind where you know Schofield had his specific vision, right? And he
Yeah.
didn't want to break away from his vision, and that led to issues with gameplay,
Yeah.
with healing taking so long, that kind
Yeah,
of
man,
stuff.
they had
The
to come out.
combat being the way it
Yeah,
was.
they had to come back and update it, and it still
Yeah,
took just way too long.
yeah,
Like I get that you want the realism, but it's just not fun.
yeah.
It's
Like
not. It's not a fun game.
I love innovation and I love vision, but sometimes you just want a game that feels like a game and that's fun to play. And
Yeah.
I think that's what Pal World is. It's
Yeah.
kind of stupid fun.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's. You've got a little blend of Elden Ring. You've got a little blend of Zelda. You've got a little blend of Pokemon, some of the top games, in recent memory, and then you Americanize it with the guns, and then you're good. Yeah, man,
That's
it's fun. Like even my buddy, like who doesn't he occasionally plays games. He's the one that plays. It's Antoine, but he was the one that
mhm.
plays like Dragon Ball and stuff all the time with me. But last week he's like, "Hey, what's this Power World game?" And I was like, "Boy, let me tell you something." And then I was like, it's like I was like, best thing to describe it is Pokemon with guns, but it's much deeper than that. Like there's survival, elements to it. And then I booted up my world and showed it to him. I was like, I was like, download it on an Xbox. It's on Game Pass and check it out. I was like, it's fun. I was like, it'll take about maybe an hour ish to get into, but once you're in it, you're in it.
Once
It's
you
fun.
start the cycle of of upgrading
Yeah,
your base, it starts to really click.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna continue with it. It's a fun game. I'm having a blast with it.
Hmm.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, Nick, we got Prince of Persia continues to be just incredible.
So excellent.
How
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 deep are you?
yeah, I am. I've beaten the snake monster. I can't
Okay.
remember its name.
Okay.
I got that, so I got the double jump. Super satisfying double
Oh
jump.
my god, such a
Um,
great double jump.
and then I went up to because right now in the story it kind of spreads you out where there's kind of to the different points of the map, and you've got to
Mm.
collect some stuff. Um, but I went to the top right of the map and went to the ship area where everything is like frozen in time. Have you done that yet?
I think I went top left
Okay.
first.
Yeah,
How?
I
Okay.
tried that boss and I died a couple times and I was like, let me upgrade some stuff and then I left for a while.
So was that the area with like the floating triangle things?
No, I haven't unlocked that ability yet.
I haven't either. And I thought I needed to have that ability to get to the top right. Because it was the top right the one that had like those like cylindrical things that were floating up and down, and you had a platform between them. Maybe not.
Maybe it wasn't the top right. Maybe it was like just the right
Like the
side,
far right.
the far right. Yeah, because there's a
Okay, I think
point.
that's
Have you done that yet? Where there's like a
that's where I'm heading.
okay, so it's like a big sea area. Yeah, yeah. It's
Because that
man,
one's like really far away, right?
yeah, it's super far away.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm doing next.
Yeah, I mean the area. I mean it's a long distance away, but like it's not a ton of interweaving kind of things. Just kind of like big section, but
Okay.
really cool. Like even like the boss fights feel a little bit like anime when you're doing the fights. Like it's some of the cutscenes are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I'm loving the boss fights. Like they're challenging, but they feel very fair. Like I think I talked about that last week, but the last couple of fights, I just had a really fun time with them. They're fun.
Yeah, it's easy to recognize the patterns.
Yeah,
And I think that's great for Metroidvanias, but it's still like slightly difficult to execute. I would
yep,
say it's a little bit easier than the Metroid Dread,
yeah,
at least
yeah.
from the boss fight
I think so.
perspective. Um, but it's like it's super sad. Like those bosses are really great,
Yeah,
or they've been really great so far.
yeah,
All can be beaten like within 3 to 5 tries.
yeah,
Maybe probably even less, but um, yeah, they've been kind of a highlight so far.
yeah. It's been fun, and like the platforming parts are a blast. Um, yeah, I feel like the overall game just feels like a less hard Hollow Knight. It just I'm getting super heavy Hollow Knight vibes, but just not nearly as challenging. Um,
Yeah. Does Hollow Knight have that much platforming?
it has sections that do, but not. I think this definitely has more platforming. I would say,
Yeah.
but yeah, the combat is I think. Well, I think the combat in this is probably more intricate than Hollow Knight is, but Hollow Knight is just a lot harder.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm having a great time. It's just kind of a I don't want to say slow burn, but just kind of one of those games where I'll pick up and play for a couple hours a night, like right before bed or something like that, or get 45 minutes in at like a lunch break or something like that. Um,
Yeah, these
fun.
types of games are great because you can play for 5 minutes and you feel like you've made
Yeah,
like a ton of progress because
yeah,
the game moves so fast. And
yeah,
I love that about Metroidvanias and yeah, about this and
yeah. So there's
Hollow Knight,
a
Ori.
there's a spot on the map that I haven't been to. Let me check it out. And it might be
Yeah.
something. It might be nothing. But yeah.
Yeah. And
Anything else you've been playing?
no, that's been it.
Sweet.
Just Palworld and Prince of Persia, the
That's
two
all.
Ps.
2P. That's all we need.
Harrison, are you interested in any of the games that are out or that are coming out in the next few weeks between Tekken 8, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Persona
Um,
3?
no, I don't. I don't think so. No, I mean,
I would
like a
love.
Dragon seems interesting, but an 80-hour game right now just doesn't.
Yeah, I know. Like
Doesn't.
I would love to play that game, but that's just so long. Like
Yeah.
50 hours, 50 to 80 hours
I'm.
is a long
And I
time.
meant to. I meant to bid on uh um
Oh, Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, and I was gonna do it on like on Saturday, like either real late at night or something, like right before, and sneak it in, but I forgot about it.
Your boy locked it in.
Locked it in. Locked it in.
Locked it in.
Sorry, maybe we'll get something announced here in the state of play, and we'll talk about here in a little bit. But
Yeah, maybe,
yeah,
maybe.
but yeah, that's yeah, nothing really coming up that I'm super interested in, which is fine because I've got Palworld, I've got Prince of Persia to
Mhm.
play, so I think I'm okay. Anything you're gonna pick up?
I don't think so, unless something comes from the state of play.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm probably not going to pick up Final Fantasy VII unless I somehow both finish and like
yeah.
Final Fantasy VII remake. And I'm only like 3 hours in to that
Yeah.
game, so
I've
I have
heard it's
long
only
to
like,
get.
I mean, not only, but I think it's like 20 hours, right? 15, 20 hours, something like that.
Is it really? Okay,
Yeah, it's
that's
not. I don't think it's
pretty
super
short.
long. I could be wrong, but I thought that was like kind of the main line um, time for that.
Oh, wait, let me look on howlongtobeat.com
Okay,
and see.
I thought that's what I heard whenever people were talking about it, but
33 hours.
33.
Is,
Okay,
yeah,
is that
probably
100%?
shorter. No, I think that's relatively mainline.
Okay, okay. All right, well let's dive into the news. We got quite a bit to talk about here. So big bummer of the week, of course, was Xbox laying off 1,900 staff members, their entire physical games department. I think a lot of this came from like Blizzard employees. It seemed like,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, I mean, it's obviously, layoffs are horrible, and when you have especially on the same day that Xbox hit like the $1 trillion.
Three, 3 trillion, right?
Yeah, was it $3 trillion, something like
Yeah, I
that.
think so.
Like the second company, I think it was like right behind Apple, able to do that. So yeah, it's not a great look, but I think a lot of people don't understand that when companies merge, they're going to evaluate everybody's position, and they might have had people that you have two people doing the same job, and you feel like you can maybe I don't know exactly how it works, but a lot of times when companies merge, there's going to be layoffs. It just
Yeah,
it
it
is what it is.
still sucks. I mean, I feel like they could have gone about this better. I just don't know how they could have gone about it in a
Yeah,
different way. But it's just I don't know. It's kind of a bad look, especially coming right after the Xbox Direct. It's like, oh, here's all this stuff that like everyone's
yep,
been working on, and granted, like none of it was Activision stuff or
yeah,
Blizzard stuff, but it's like, yeah, here's all the stuff that all of our hardworking developers have been working on, and then you have these layoffs. You lay off the entire physical games department, which is a whole separate conversation that
yeah.
we're
We'll talk
gonna
about it here in a
have. But
second.
yeah, it just it sucks. I mean, it sucks when, you know, a bunch of other companies laid off employees, and this is really no different.
Yeah.
But it just kind of stings that it was a result of, $69 billion acquisition.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I think the part that the extra stings is like a lot of these Xbox game studios have open job listings, so it's like you couldn't potentially
Couldn't
move people around,
shuffle
and I
people.
understand that, like, you know, you don't, if you're in charge of hiring, you don't want to be told, hey, we've got 30 people coming your way that you have to hire or train. It's like, because every game's different, every studio is looking for a specific need. They want to run their interviews and stuff like that, so it's that simple for them to just move all these people around. And some of these people, they could get rehired. I mean, who knows, down the line when they start ramping up for new games and whatever. But yeah, it still sucks. I mean, $1 trillion company, big acquisition, really
Still laying
positive
off
developer direct, and
8%.
then we get this.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this physical media thing, because Xbox laid off their entire physical games department, which means, I mean, it's kind of writing on the wall for a little bit here, with a
Yeah,
bunch of retailers removing or starting to remove physical games on the Xbox side. But looks like Xbox is going to go all digital in the future, probably with the Xbox Series refresh that's coming sometime this year or next year. I know that there's like the leaked, adorably all digital, uh, like advertising slogan for the refresh or whatever it was.
yeah,
So that's where it looks like it's going. I'm sure they're leaning completely into Game Pass, and uh, they'll be all digital within the next few years.
yeah. I mean, it sucks. I mean, at first I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's they've been pushing Game Pass. You know, I think there was a report that, like, the Switch had maybe
Mhm.
like 50% of the market for physical games, which is incredible. And I think that for people worrying about all digital future, I think it's gonna be a very long time before Nintendo does that, because they sell so many physical games. They do a
Yeah,
ton of
collector's
collector's
editions
editions, stuff like that. Like they kill it in the physical market.
and Amiibo too. Like that's
Yeah, Amiibo and stuff like that. Like,
Mhm.
all that stuff is gonna stick around. But I mean, Xbox, like, I get it. Like, again,
No
like
one
a
buys physical Xbox games.
yeah, nobody. I mean, everything's on Game Pass. They had less than 10% of the physical market. You know, a lot of that stuff was probably sitting on store shelves, which why Walmart is moving away from physical games, starting with Xbox. It just makes sense because they just don't sell them. So again, I think it makes sense for Xbox, but it's still shitty because, like, options are always good. And I think a company controlling one aspect of the seller, it kind of sucks too. That there's no, you can't trade in a digital game, so
No,
you lose that
you don't even own
aspect of
it
it.
technically.
Yeah, and they could potentially yank it away at any time. They want, they have that right to do that, because you're just licensing the game when you're
Yeah.
going digital like that. So that sucks. So if this was like, if this was a Nintendo we're talking about, I would be really upset. But I haven't owned an Xbox game in 6 or 7 years since Game Pass started, so you know it
The
doesn't
last
hurt me as that it doesn't hurt me that much, but also options are good, I think.
Yeah, and like the thing with Xbox is they've made it so advantageous to go digital with Game Pass and game sharing, which you and I do for most of the new
Yeah.
releases. Like there's just no reason for us to go physical, and we don't really have the drive to do that for Xbox. But yeah,
Mm-mm.
Nintendo, even with PlayStation to a degree, maybe not so much for me or you, but
Yeah,
for a
I
lot of people
haven't
they go
physically.
physical.
I mean, I think the last physical PlayStation game I got was maybe Spider-Man, just because I caught it on like a really good sale.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, Nintendo's the only one that I really do physical for anymore. Anyways, I just like collecting those. I think their cases are cool. I think they're like the coolest
Yeah,
cases around. And then a lot of people do, like, Limited Run does some really cool stuff. I am 8-bit does some cool physical stuff for digital only titles. So there's that market's still definitely going to exist. and I just think there's eventually going to be a all digital future, and Xbox is probably the one to pioneer that, going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm a little doom and gloom on Xbox. I think their mind share is at an all time low
Yeah,
with a lot of people. Even their developer directs, like they don't do that well. Like they don't garner as close to as many views as something like a PlayStation Showcase or Nintendo Direct. And
yeah,
that's kind of been the case for a while. Like I'll go on YouTube and look at some of their trailers, and they just don't really have like that viewership that
yeah.
PlayStation and Nintendo get, because I mean those are the kind of the big two, and then you have Xbox lagging behind.
Which is
So
funny because like I can't remember the last time that I really enjoyed a PlayStation showcase.
I can't.
Like,
I can't either. They're all just kind of like, all the games kind of have the same like dark and drab
yeah,
uh, look to them. So I'm hoping this upcoming one's a little bit different.
yeah,
But
just yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, maybe Xbox will be fine and they won't go full third party. But I think that's where it's headed. If this refresh or whatever it is doesn't turn them around, or if Game Pass doesn't grow to a certain degree by 2028 or whenever it was,
yeah,
uh, I think they might just switch to a publisher. I think it's possible at this point.
yeah. I mean, it certainly is. I mean, if
Like,
Xbox could somehow maybe starting with Nintendo get Game Pass or whatever on the
mm,
Nintendo platform, I think that's a sign right there.
yeah, like they're
Officially,
alluding to it too.
yeah,
Like we want to get games in front of as many players as possible, and you can only say that for so long without actually putting it on
yeah,
PlayStation and the Switch, and they've already done that for a lot of games, for a handful at least. But
yeah. I mean,
I
that's
think
that's a crazy thought that to think in 6 or 7 years, we only have
Halo
a PlayStation and Switch is like the only big hardware, the big consoles
it
that
sucks to
kind of
think about.
sucks. And maybe somebody will step up. Um, but who? Like Apple? Hell no. It'll be a $17,000 console. Like their
Yeah,
pricing is ridiculous. Like the Apple Vision Pro thing is,
3,500.
God, that's insane. But who else would step up? Like maybe Steam? Yeah, I don't know. They're not Steam, but
I don't know.
uh Valve. Like I just don't know.
Valve, Epic. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I mean,
don't know. Yeah, that's yeah, it's a bummer to think about because I mean like we've always owned all the consoles, but Xbox has always been like near and dear to both our hearts because we grew up with that. We grew up with Halo 2, playing LAN and
mhm.
multiplayer and stuff like that, and then the 360 was just an incredible console, and then it's just ever since the 360, it's just been kind of downhill.
Like,
And
yeah, they haven't been the same. Like, you don't have your Halo and Gears of War like you used to have.
yeah,
Like those are their flagship titles, and then they also had games like Viva Pinata, which were super fun.
yeah,
But they like did so many different things, and it just doesn't feel like they're at the same place as they were back then. And I think they're trying to get it back with games like Hi-Fi Rush,
yeah,
and potentially games like Avowed, and their licensed games like Indiana Jones. But I don't know, like all the games that released last year that were in their showcase, none of them really did that well, or were even that great of games.
yeah.
Like
It's
when you
like
look
even
at,
Hellblade. Like how well is Hellblade gonna do? You
it's
know,
not like it's not going to do that well. It's
yeah.
gonna it's gonna be a
Like how many people are
hopefully a
actually gonna
graphical
play it
showcase.
is the thing because like obviously
Yeah.
it's on Game Pass, so it's not gonna sell. But how many people are actually gonna play it, or subscribe new because of it? So yeah, it's a bummer. But we'll see. I mean, I enjoyed the direct, so hopefully they can have some surprises during the summer and get all those games out this year, and I don't know, maybe announce a new Halo, get Gears 6, announced and have that come out soon. Cliffy B just came out on Twitter and was talking about how he would love to uh, be a console for do consultation for Gears, but he said Xbox has never reached out to him since.
Mhm.
Those first 3 Gears games were I enjoyed 4 and 5 for sure, but those first 3 were just incredible.
Yeah.
But on to brighter news, we got a announcement of the State of Play coming on Wednesday, the 31st, right? It's Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
31st.
31st at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, they're gonna show off Stellar Blade and Rise of Ronin, which I couldn't tell you what either one of those games look like, but
So I went and rewatched the trailer for Stellar Blade. It looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It
is
it
this the
kind
one
of
that like looked almost like kind of fake?
yeah.
Okay,
Has the
it was like a mobile game kind of thing.
yeah, has that protagonist,
Yeah,
Yeah. It kind of looks like a mashup of Bayonetta and I don't even know what other
it's like a
action games.
hypersexualized like Dark Souls kind of looking thing.
Kind
Bloodborne.
of. Yeah, kind of, and it looks pretty good. Like
Yeah.
I went back and watched last year's trailer and
Okay.
yeah, it looks like it could be good. And then Rise of the Ronin, I don't know how to feel about this one. This one looks kind of like Sekiro, uh, a little bit like the gameplay of Wo Long, and it's from the same developer. It's from Team Ninja.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest Team Ninja fan. I
No.
don't think their gameplay really clicks, unfortunately.
Yeah, it just feels kind of I don't know. Yeah,
Like
I know what
something
you
that
mean.
kind of feels like floaty, but not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got like
not
a floaty snappiness to it. I don't know. It's weird. I know exactly. I know I can feel playing Wolong right now.
like
Yeah.
a little bit of jank,
Yeah.
like but like polished jank.
Polished Jake. Yeah.
I can't
Uh,
explain it.
or did they officially say Death Stranding 2 was going to be there?
They didn't, but Hideo
Okay.
Kojima he tweeted out the showcase
Okay.
for the State of Play.
So
So
they said
one
what
can assume
40 minutes. We're getting like an extended look at Stellar Blade and Rise of Ronin, and then I guess some other stuff.
15 games.
15 games total.
You can assume that a handful will be VR games. I think Metro
Yeah.
it's rumored to have a VR game, and
Okay.
I don't give a hoot about any of the VR games are going to show off. It's always kind of a lull in their states of plays and their showcases.
Maybe they'll have the that Attack on Titan VR game. Did it ever come out?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Would you get
have you watched the English version yet?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, I actually just watched it for the first time today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I hadn't watched it either.
I watched the sub version when it first aired. Brutal, man, just absolutely fucking brutal.
It's brutal.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Yeah, really good. So maybe they'll have that there, but I think that might have been an Oculus or a Quest 3 exclusive. I don't know.
Okay, that would be a cool game.
Again, State of Plays, I haven't been wowed by them in a very long time. I don't have a PS5, so there's nothing quite yet that I'm like I have to have a PlayStation for. Anything you could think of that you'd be remotely excited for, other than Bloodborne.
That's what I was gonna say.
How it blows my mind that PlayStation has done nothing with Bloodborne. Like they just kind of like just. Oh, it makes me so mad.
The game sold really well too.
Yeah, it makes me so mad that it's just a dead on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Honestly though, like I would love to see whatever Blue Point is working on because they did Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're doing some sort of some Bloodborne remake or something. But aside from the obvious answer of Bloodborne, I'd love to see like Plucky Squire from Devolver, like some kind of like some third party stuff. We wouldn't see.
Did they state that it's a first party, or is it just like kind of a mix of everything?
I think it's just a mix.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's only first party.
We'll probably see Final Fantasy. I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah. Final
Um,
Fantasy. I think there's like a Sonic game that's rumored to be getting a remastered or remake, or getting a
okay.
remake. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, I
Generations
did see
maybe.
that. Think we see
Um,
anything from Naughty Dog at all? Anything Uncharted or?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
I don't think we see anything. Maybe Elden Ring DLC. That's like one
That
of
that could be. Oh, ooh. Okay,
that's
okay.
what's one of my hopes. So we get a release date.
Unless they really want to piss off everybody else. All right, it's a
It's a
30-day
timed.
timed oh my god. I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
Uh that could be okay. I could see that there. I mean, that obviously Elden Ring did incredibly well on the PlayStation as well.
Hmm.
Probably sold way more to be honest, but yeah, that could be huge. I would love
Yeah.
that. I mean, cuz we're like, we're coming up on 2 years, or yeah, 2 years for Elden Ring, and there's like that leaked Xbox controller from, or PlayStation controller from Elden Ring. I can't remember which platform it was for, but
Crazy. There's a controller for DLC.
hey, I might buy
It's
it.
wild. I might buy it. I think this DLC could come out exactly 2 years after
Yeah, because when
Elden
did
Ring.
Elden Ring come out? Was it like the 20th, 20 something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Elden Ring release date. It came out February 25th of 2022.
February 25th.
So
Okay, so I mean,
yeah, I mean, that yeah, I mean they could do it. They could do a trailer. Yeah, give us a trailer and then give us a release date and then say, hey, tune in to whatever for an extended look. And I don't really know how much they need to even show show it off, to be honest, but we'll see.
yeah, and actually thinking about that release date, I don't know if I don't know if Sony would put that in knowing that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out like days later.
Yeah, and the 25th is on a Sunday
When
this
does
year.
Rebirth come out?
I don't know. It's pretty soon. Although I did see the
29th.
the what is it, the Horizon coming out,
The
like
PC
the
version.
PC version, and it's like, all right, we got the Elden Ring release date.
So funny. And people defend Horizon to the end of time, saying like, "Oh my god, it sold like 80 million copies,
Yeah,
whatever,
it's because it
whatever."
was
But
you could
it
only,
was a
for a
deep
long
discount
time you
game.
could only get it bundled in with the PlayStation, and I really want to check out that stupid boss fight. And I say stupid only because like everyone, it's like this is the greatest boss fight of this generation, and the only clips I ever see is just somebody running around not fighting, and I'm like, this is not a boss fight.
Like, bro, that's a cutscene.
That's a glorified cutscene. Like
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not a Horizon hater at all. But you can't show me that. You can't show me
it's
Aloy
only
running
ever
around.
just Aloy running around and like maybe climbing one of the tentacles. I'm like, all right, this looks like Shadow of the Colossus or something with
Like,
with
bro, that's
more
Uncharted.
animation
Like,
going on. Yeah, or Uncharted. It's like, where's where's the actual fight?
is the boss fight in the room with us right now?
Yeah. Oh my god. I, yeah, that just blows my mind. I don't know, man. Again, I'm trying to be better about not hating on PlayStation gamers because they are very loyal to their consoles, but you
Hey, you can
know,
say the same about Xbox. And
yeah, you can, but like, I just don't think I think PlayStation has like groomed their gamers into
stop.
thinking that cutscenes are gameplay, because like there was that whole thing with Spider-Man 2 not getting winning anything, and it's like, how does this gameplay not beat everything else? And it was just the cutscene of Spider-Man flying through the air fighting Sandman,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm like, bro, this is a cutscene. Like it's not gameplay.
Like I remember when the gameplay started, and it was not that. It was
Yeah,
not at that point.
yeah. I think
Yeah, it's so
they've just
funny.
been groomed for years, but you know, I'll stop.
Oh,
So yeah,
I'm gonna
I
cut you
think
off
we're
there.
yeah. So yeah, I think we're both kind of on the
I
mid.
would say I'm like more excited than I normally am for a state of play.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
sweet,
where I'm at. Like a 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd probably be more excited if I had a PlayStation, but I would like to eventually get one. but
Yeah.
there just hasn't been that system seller for me yet.
All right, Harrison,
yeah.
is 8 inches enough?
Some would say that's too big.
Where's the Switch Mini? Okay.
Yeah, we're yeah,
Where's the Switch Micro at?
yeah, where's the micro? So yeah, we're talking about the Bloomberg report that came out, which you know, massive grain of salt for Bloomberg because they're not quite right all the time. But yeah, they reported 8-inch LCD screen Switch, which of course got the internet in a tizzy about it. Which hey, you know what? The OLED, I love it, man. The OLED is so good. It's night and day. But I made a video about it. But again, we're not taking the Switch LCD screen and putting it on new hardware. It's going to be like a brand new LCD screen. It's going to be better. It's not going to look as good as an OLED, but
it'll be close.
I think it'll look pretty good. But yeah, that report came out. They also kind of reported about 10 million units kind of ready to go at launch. So like Nintendo is ready to they anticipate a big launch, big demand for it. So
that's good. That means means it won't immediately sell out.
Yeah,
I'm worried about it this time around. I wasn't worried with the Switch when Switch launched, but
no, Switch was pretty easy. But also we were coming off of a horrible
the Wii U.
Yeah, the Wii U. I wouldn't say horrible. I like the Wii U, but we're coming off horrible sales. Like the Nintendo stock and everything was on an all-time low.
It's dark times for Nintendo fans.
Yeah, super dark times. But yeah, I mean, 8-inch LCD screen. That's like what 0.8 inches bigger than the OLED right now.
The OLED 7.2, is that right?
Is it right? 7.2, something like that.
Something like that.
So again, like I think the OLED's perfect. But hey, 8 inches, man. Let's go for it.
Let's go. Yeah, okay, 7 inches compared to the Switch. To the base Switch is 6.2, 7, and then 8. So we're just getting bigger and bigger.
Hey, man, we're on a growth spurt here. But yeah, I'm excited. Hey, 8-inch LCD screen.
Is that what the PlayStation Portal has?
That's the PlayStation had. Well, they have it's an 8-inch OLED.
It's not OLED.
I'm pretty sure it's OLED. You sure? I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't think so.
No? I thought it was OLED. I thought that's why it was so expensive.
No, I don't think it's OLED.
Yeah, you're right. It's a LCD screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then never mind.
From what I've seen, though, the screen looks really good.
Yeah. So I imagine it's probably somewhere the same technology, but
yeah. So imagine that, imagine the Portal screen on the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's the bezels are pretty low, like the OLED. I think that that could be that could be really nice looking. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, obviously, Nintendo can announce this thing at literally any given moment. I don't know if they will. I think we might go through one more direct before. Like I really feel like this direct. I feel like we're gonna get the Zelda 2-pack, or the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I think that's gonna be like the final swan song of the Switch. I think we'll get Metroid Prime 2, maybe 3. That's kind of what was reported.
See, I think we would get the Oracle remakes rather than.
You're right. That's what was reported by Grezzo, right?
Yeah, it seems like they tend to switch off. Like they do a 2D remake and then a 3D. Like we got Link's Awakening, and then we got Skyward Sword. Back to. Back to 2D.
I'm down to go.
I'd be down
for
that.
Yeah. You think they would do it like a dual pack though for Oracle of Ages and Seasons, or you think they would sell them separately? I think it'd be kind of hard to sell them separately. They would
do a dual pack.
Okay.
Are those on? Those are on NSO, right?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. I don't know, but I do think we'll get a direct next week.
Next week? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
feeling the 7th. I think the 7th is a good.
because I think their
That's
their
next.
financials come out sometime.
7th is next Wednesday.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I think that's a good guess. It's normal. It's normally around that time.
Yeah,
So only a week.
could be. I'm ready for it. It's
Mhm.
always a fun time. Um. So yeah, Switch 2. Can't wait. Can't wait for that thing to get announced and just finally come out so we can stop having brand new big blowout special Switch news.
do,
Massive
do you
rumors.
do you have any predictions for anything that the Switch 2 is gonna necessarily bring to the table? Like any gimmicks or anything
I don't
crazy?
know, man. I think the Joy Cons have to be better. I kind of want them to be a little bit of a different form factor. I think I would prefer instead of the rails, I think I would prefer like a really strong magnet too, that it just magnetizes to the side. I think that could be kind of get rid of like because if you kind of like do that to the Switch, you feel like you could snap it off if you really
Yeah.
wanted to. So yeah, I feel like magnetized Joy Cons could be really cool. Maybe make them maybe a little bit bulkier, a little bit sturdier. I imagine they're still going to go the Joy-Con route. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know. I would prefer like a dedicated eShop instead of one that that's browser based, so it's actual enjoyable to use.
Oh, that'd be
Um,
nice. Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of bring like I don't know with the Switch. Like I love the Switch, but it kind of lost some of its charm. Like bring back the Wii music. The Wii shop music. Bring back the themes. All that stuff. Like I would love that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I just don't know about any sort of gimmicks. I couldn't think of anything. If it's just gonna be an iteration, I don't know what kind of gimmick they would do.
Yeah. I just hope they do like some sort of like modular controller, modular Joy-Con of some sort.
Okay,
Like like the option to add like GameCube Joy-Cons or have like official
like different shapes and stuff.
different shapes. Yeah. Yeah.
That could be
Officially like
cool.
yeah, first party products, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And just more comfortable Joy-Cons for
for sure.
specifically for laying in bed because my hands they just fucking fall asleep.
Yeah, yeah. Something a little bit
Like
more. Yeah, yeah,
like you need like when you're holding it and you have like your
yeah. I've got my grip. That's
you need a
super
grip
nice.
though. Like
Yeah,
that's really what the Joy-Cons are missing is some sort of
they
grip that
need to
makes it a
kind
little
of
bit
like flow out a little bit, like a typical controller
yeah.
does.
They need some ergonomics.
Yeah, that would
They
be
need
that would be
to
nice.
yeah. And then having what is it analog triggers would be nice instead
Hmm.
of just like regular uh click triggers. I
Yeah,
don't know what
that'd
the name
be
for it is.
nice.
Yeah. But I can't think of anything like super gimmicky.
No, I don't know what they would do.
Like they wouldn't have a second screen.
No, that's too much.
Yeah. Maybe just add a camera to it or something and call it a day.
A really mediocre camera.
Yeah. Like a two
Uh, yeah,
megapixels camera.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just want a more powerful Switch that just looks nicer and feels better to hold.
Yeah, I want a more powerful Switch so Pokemon can actually look good. That's what's holding him back.
That's what's holding me back for 7 years is just you know,
Just waiting on that perfect console.
yeah, exactly. Um, Nick, I didn't see the NSO stuff for GameCube. What was that about?
Nintendo they filed a trademark and it's a new trademark. It's not they weren't like renewing their trademark. They filed a new trademark for GameCube controller and
Oh, is this like the
specifically
digital icon that that I saw? Is that what it
yeah,
is? Okay.
yeah. And then like a trademark for the actual like button layout
Okay,
of
that
the
makes sense.
right
Well,
side of the GameCube controller.
maybe we'll be getting GameCube soon. Because yeah, I mean, because with everything else they have a controller for, so I mean
Mhm.
they've got their. So I guess they're gonna put out a
Think we'd
special
get that
edition
in
GameCube
the
controller.
direct.
I think so too.
Yeah. When when did they announce Game Boy and Game Boy Advance? I think it was last year, right? When they
It was last year,
It was,
yeah, because
last year in the
it
February
was
direct.
when they announced Metroid Prime and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, they've put out all the games that they said they were going to put out, aside from, I think there's like one game left on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they got Golden Sun out there. They got Zelda, Metroid. They got out there Zero Mission or Fusion. Uh, yeah.
I think there's one unannounced game that they have left.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility for sure.
Yeah.
Just give me
Are
give me that Beyblade game on there, man.
right? Yeah, get that Beyblade. What was that? What was that Beyblade game called?
I can't remember. We played a pretty good
Was
amount
it?
of it.
It wasn't Beyblade Burst, was it?
Let me see. Beyblade V-Force Super Tournament? Yeah, Beyblade V-Force.
V-Force.
Yeah, Super Tournament battle.
Okay.
Yeah, that game was pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have we don't have F-Zero Maximum Velocity.
Okay, gotcha.
On the GBA. That's one of the 5 that were announced.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. I don't know what they would launch with, because they always launch with the game.
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
Yeah, that could be a good one. Maybe they'll put on Wind Waker on there. Here you go, guys.
Here's your Wind Waker. Get out of here.
Wind Waker. Yeah.
Never speak of it again. I don't know what they would put on
Mario Party. There's like 19 Mario Party games on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll put out Melee and like have online for it. That could be super
That'd be
huge.
wild.
That would be incredible.
Did they put out Super Smash Bros. N64?
No.
They didn't?
I don't think so.
No. That would be a huge get if they could do that.
Yeah.
Or if they can make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
And do like a Smash Bros. 99 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that could be cool. That could be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be awesome. Nintendo.
Free ideas.
Free ideas, man. Just a little kickback is all I'm asking.
Just a little bit of residual.
Yeah, I think that's a definite possibility. You know, last thing, and then obviously we know that Nintendo plans on carrying all this stuff over to the new Switch anyways. So it's not like it's going to be stuck on the current hardware. It's going to cross over. So yeah, that could be a really cool like final thing for the Switch, and then bring it on over to the new one.
And then you have the Wii Virtual Console, or then you have Wii on NSO. That's like the next thing, right?
Yeah. At some point, would you just prefer to be able to buy these games like you could on the Wii U Virtual Console and Wii?
I'll tell you what, the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console, I didn't appreciate it at the time, but it was pretty good.
It was pretty goated. They had a lot of great stuff on there. Yeah. Nick, what's the Suicide Squad debacle? What's going on with this game?
Yeah, what isn't going on with this game?
I actually haven't heard anything, so this is news to me.
So they had their early access. Okay, I guess for starters, no one got review codes for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's typically not a good sign, but
yeah, I mean, like the only good case of it was Doom 2016.
Yeah, they didn't go.
Yeah, no one got review codes, but we can all assume, right? Because none of the previews were good for this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can assume that they're not sending it out to try to save as much face as possible before the actual launch date this week.
Is that this week?
Yeah, it comes out this week.
Oh my god! Okay.
But you could pay extra. You could pay like $100 and get early access. And an hour after early access launched, there was a glitch or something where people who played the game like 100% completed it and got all the achievements and everything.
Oh my god.
So they had to take the game back offline and fix whatever issue that was.
Jeez.
So that's kind of weird. And then
what did the achievements get taken away? Their trophies?
I don't know. I
Because
think
I
they
just
tried
give me the
to.
refund and I'll just take the free 1,000. Thank you, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Um, and then the last thing that came out of it today, I'm not sure, Harrison, if you saw the clip of the Suicide Squad like killing Batman in the
I did
game.
see something like that, but I just saw like them shooting him and he just like took all the damage, but I didn't see anything else. I don't think I watched the whole clip.
Oh, it's a cutscene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this is like apparently the beginning of the game because Batman dies in this. Like it's kill the Justice League, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
So
but it's
you kill Batman pretty quick.
yeah. So it's Kevin Conroy's last outing as Batman, and
They kill him.
he Batman goes out so unceremoniously. He's just like he's killed execution style by Harley Quinn,
Yeah.
like with no send off or no payoff or anything for all the other games. And granted, like I didn't play the other games, but I know a lot of people are really pissed off about this.
Yeah.
Just
It's the same universe, yeah.
yeah, it's just
And you got to
weird.
think like I don't think there's going to be something there's going to be some sort of time travel thing
Where
where
they
these
don't actually die.
characters don't actually die.
So
Is
so it's gonna be fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my thought, but I mean, it may not happen, but I just don't think they're not going to kill all these characters off like that's but who knows? I don't know. Who knows what happens to this universe after this game comes out.
Man, I just remember like seeing the reveal of both this game and Gotham Knights a couple years ago, and just
They both look like complete ass.
yeah, like even back then they just didn't look great. It's like, oh, more uh, looter shooter, pay to win bullshit.
Yeah, that was before even the Justice League, like yeah, it was like I think I was like kind of somewhat hyped for it just because it was Rocksteady and still is, but that was before we knew that it was a a live service esque game and it looked and played like it does now and yeah it's a bummer, man. 8 years for Rocksteady and they came off 3 incredible games and granted I haven't played it, but it just doesn't look
It
appealing
just
at
looks
all.
like just colorful diarrhea
Yeah.
on the screen, and I mean that in the worst way.
Have you heard of a game called Palworld, Nick? I mean,
Apparently, we're just simpletons, and we just like
hey,
we
we just want to
like
make a fun
guns and
game.
Pokemon.
Guns and Pokemon. That's all we need. Yeah,
Weird.
yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, again, I think the story is going to pan out in a way where these characters are going to come back to life, but yeah, I don't know. It's a bummer.
Yeah. Feels like feels like this game's gonna be dead on arrival.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see what it sales like. I'm sure there'll be a ton of clips of whatever
People hating on the game.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, is that it for the news?
I believe so.
Sweet.
I think we did it all.
We did it all. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap up the show. We appreciate everyone listening. We would appreciate if you guys could leave us a review on your favorite podcasting platform of choice. That would be most excellent. We'll be back next week talking about
the state of play.
Definitely talk about the state of play and all that stuff. I think we're pretty confident about a direct happening next week. But hey,
could happen this
could
week.
happen.
You said you woke up with the tingle.
I did. I did
wake up into a PlayStation tingle.
Yeah, evidently it was. Yeah, I woke up with something. But yeah, I think we got some good stuff in the horizon for gaming. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Nick, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see you next week for some Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, we'll be here. All right, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.